What's going on, everybody? Sean Power here at the Hilson Studio, here today to talk about some of the warm audio DI boxes. We've got the active box here right now. I'm just going to go over some of the features of it and let you hear how it kind of works in practice and talk about some of the different ways you can use it. So let's talk about why you might want to use one of these boxes. Sometimes you need to go from a 1/4-inch cable to an XLR. You can get away with using different kind of cables that'll convert that, but it's not going to be doing exactly what you want. This is what you want when you want to go from a 1/4-inch to a XLR. Using a balanced signal is always better than an unbalanced signal, as you will get more noise and interference with an unbalanced cable. So if you just plug in your instrument direct into something, the longer the cable is, the more likely you have a chance to pick up some interference. These things will help take care of a lot of that for you. One of the nice things about using a DI box with a ground lift is that if you have something like a pedal board on one end of your chain and then you're trying to drive an input into a mixer or a preamp or an interface, by using that ground lift you can actually decouple the circuits and hopefully eliminate any of that unwanted electrical noise. So one of the benefits of using a box like this, you have an input and then you have a through output. The nice thing about that is you can plug your input, such as your bass in this case, in, use the balanced XLR output directly to an interface or a preamp for recording, and then you can also use the through output to go directly to an amp itself so that you can have your signal driving both a preamp and the amplifier, so that we could record both the direct sound of the instrument and also the amplified sound of the instrument simultaneously. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the instrument output from the bass guitar into the input on the DI box. I'm going to plug into the through output and connect that to the amplifier input. And I'm going to make sure that the XLR is connecting the DI box to the interface and make sure that phantom power is being provided to the box. Now everything's hooked up to drive the bass guitar directly into the interface of the box. And then you take the microphone from the amplifier and have them both recorded separately without any grounding issues or any hum. As you can hear, the signal is nice and clean and dry. We have the ability to hear the direct signal from the bass and the amp signal separately and treat them separately if we'd like. You can also hear what they sound like with the phase flipped. I'm going to record it again and you'll hear what that sounds like with the phase flipped on the DI box. So one of the reasons you might want this DI box in particular is to improve the quality of the direct instrument input that you have on your interface. So now I'm going to use my interface in such a way as the through output is hooked up to the line input on the interface. So we can actually hear what it would sound like if you'd plug this bass directly into the interface. And separately, we're also going to have the XLR output, which is hitting the transformer in the box and then converting to a balanced signal. So this is going to be able to actually compare what it would sound like if you plugged just your instrument directly into an interface, and separately what it would sound like if you plugged it into the DI first. The differences should be subtle, but it'll give you an idea of what having a transformer and a proper DI box in front of your input can do for your signal. Oh, and one more thing. These things are pretty much indestructible.